Judge, today's case is Pandora's Box.
I have two very young people with a very active sex life and very firm ideas about where they want to be. Let's see if we can get them there.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Remarcus Steele and Teondra Lawrence. The two of you have been together for 2 years. You have no children together. Mr. Steele, you have brought Miss Lawrence here to recoup a significant amount of money. You say that you incurred $11,500 in credit card debt because of her, but you're only seeking $5,000, and you will tell me about that momentarily. But before we do, Mr. Steele, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why we're here in divorce court today?
Okay, well, it was my idea to bring the other women into our relationship and to start having the threesomes and stuff.
Well, let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
How did that conversation come about? Did you pull it out of the blue? Well, no. Did you suggest it to her out of the blue? Was it something she was interested in? How does that happen?
Okay, well, I'm gonna run you from the top. All right, so we at her friend's crib and we chilling. We about to eat. We sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting next to her and I noticed that she's on her phone. So I'm trying to tell her, you know, get off your phone. Let's just kick it with your friend, you know. And I look over and you know, that's a dating app, and normally people are looking for people of the opposite sex on those apps. So I'm like, yo, like, are you telling me that you don't want to be with me? And I look closer and I see that it's women that she's looking at. And when I ask her about it, she tries to like shove the phone back in her pocket. And I'm like, no, talk to me. Like, are you interested in dating women? Like, do you find them attractive? You want to sleep with them? Like, would you rather be with them? Are you here with me as a mistake? Like, what's going on? Like, just let me know so I know how to move forward. And, you know, she doesn't really have an answer. So I'm telling her that we can explore together. And that's how it started.
Okay. Ms. Lawrence, is that an accurate recitation of what occurred?
Yeah, mostly. I've had curiosities all my life, and I grew up in a family where there was just very shunned and you couldn't talk about things like that.
Right.
So eventually he brought it out of me, we started talking about it, and he did suggest that we do things together, but he also encouraged me to have relationships with women outside of our relationship. So he was like, yeah, I don't care, they're just women, it doesn't make any difference in my life, so you can go have fun, you know?
Did you say that?
I did. But that was before, when I thought that the women were going to remain respectful and that it was going to continue to be something that all three of us did if other women were involved. Or four, depending on how many we decided
Or four.
He's always being extra with it. I don't understand. Go have fun by yourself, but then you want me to only stay with you in it. So make up your mind. That's been my
I'm still stuck on the four part. You've had foursomes?
Yeah, we've had foursomes.
You and three women?
And 3 women.
He's living his best life, man.
This brother over there is in full agreement. Look at him. He hasn't been that happy all day. Tell me about the change in respect level and the level of information that you were getting.
Well, she would go on solo dates, and I would encourage her to go on these solo dates. And when she came back, there would be no story about how the date went, about anything.
They were usually boring, so what am I gonna come back and tell you?
I know these women, so I know for a fact that none of these dates were boring.
We went out to eat, we talked about nothing.
Most of them I dated before, even before I dated her. So most of these women
Which
I already
never
knew.
found out until after.
I mean, on a date,
You set
He
your
wouldn't even
current
tell me.
woman up with women you already knew?
a few of them, yeah.
Yeah, he would text them behind my back and then set it up so that they could watch me. It wasn't
no, that's
even
not
so
true.
that...
No, that's not true.
It wasn't even so that I could get to know them. It was just he trusted these girls to spy on me to see if I was actually a lesbian or not.
No, that's not true, Judge. That's not true.
Whatever's true, Mr. Steele, let me tell you this, son, that cannot turn out well.
Right.
Too much intimacy and knowledge and intersectionality never works out.
Right.
Just generally. So, when did he first start expressing problems with what you were doing?
I guess he suspected that I was sleeping with women outside of him and not telling him, but the majority of the time I was just hanging out with my friends, so women have a lot of female friends.
Right.
But I do have to say that I did have a threesome and didn't tell you about it.
See?
But the only reason was because he encouraged me and said that it was okay to have relationships with other women outside.
Threesome, 3 women?
Yes.
Y'all just busy. Woo.
It's the first I'm hearing of it, Judge.
But you said it was okay.
Or do you know? Are you a lesbian? Are you bisexual? Or are you still questioning?
I definitely like men, and I don't want to have a relationship with a woman. Like, it was just fun for a little bit, you know, the hot girl summer stuff. And I was doing it with my man.
Right. So is the hot summer over?
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore.
So what is your current concern, Mr. Steele? I mean, I understand the nature of that concern, but tell me what has gone on since then that you two now are questioning whether or not you should remain together?
As far as the women goes, this is the first time that I've ever got an actual answer from her as far as to whether or not she wants to date women, continue dating women, date me, and I'm glad it's me.
Right.
And
I wasn't sure for a while.
Possibly the foursome thing is possibly over with now. Now that I see how that backfired. It didn't go how I thought.
Right.
It was fun while it lasted, though.
And it didn't go how I thought because he was just trying to have control over every situation and bring women so he could force an answer out of me. And that's why it's always been confusing because it's been a very negative conversation every single time we've talked about it.
Just because I wasn't.
You know, you're very, very young, Ms. Lawrence, but you're very well spoken. I enjoy listening to you. You can get a little wild side to you, but you're a thoughtful young lady, and you're a thoughtful young man as well, Mr. Steele. So are you satisfied at this juncture, given what she just said to you, that indeed you're it and not women?
Yeah, I like the answer. I'm glad that it was me. I didn't like the fact that I had to find out about the threesome just now. But after asking for so long,
you were bugging and being annoying about it.
I wouldn't have to bug her if I would have got the answer.
So he always just reminds me of everything that he's done for me, throws it all in my face.
Okay, let me chime in on that. I give you the full story. Okay, so I told her, just go to rehab and get yourself back together. Don't worry about anything. I'll take care.
Is that the damage that was done?
Yeah, the damage that was done.
Tell me about the car accident.
So in April, she got into a really bad car accident, totaled her car, and she was hurt. She couldn't work. And I told her, just go to rehab and get yourself back together. Don't worry about anything. I'll take care.
Is that the damage that was done?
Yeah, that's the damage that was done.
You were rear-ended?
Yeah, I was rear-ended, and I spun in, like, 6-lane traffic, and I messed up my knee, I slammed my knee, and I had muscle tearing in my shoulder and bone bruising.
Ooh.
It was pretty bad. I told her I was gonna hold everything down until she got her big settlement check, and that everything that I had put in, that we were gonna put back in on the back end with the check, and that the rest was gonna be for her to keep. And over time, it changed. Like, she told me recently that she was not gonna give me any money out of the settlement.
And that only changed because every single day he's sitting there bashing me about it and talking crap and saying that I won't pay him. I can't even work right now, so what money do I have to even pay him back? And he only covered my bills for about a good 3 months.
Did you get a settlement check as a function of the accident?
I just finished all of my paperwork with them, and I technically only owe him $2,000.
Now, why do you place the value on what you owe him at $2,000? Because he says it's $11,500.
Because let's just talk about how the fact that he put 2 cars on his car that weren't mine, and I wasn't driving either one of them. He totaled one, and then the other one got stolen. So that was his fault and not mine. So why am I supposed to sit there and pay him?
Put 2 cards on that credit card?
I did.
How you trying to get her to pay you half of that back?
Well, what I'm asking from her is all accumulated from what happened from the accident. It's separate charges from that. That has nothing to do with it.
So that's just half of rent. That is my one time he paid my phone bill, and then he paid my insurance 3 times. So that's definitely not adding up to $2,000.
Tell me about how he's ragging you and bothering you. What's he saying? What's the worst thing he's done?
Well, I have just picked up a second job, and I'm also a nanny. But he'll sit there and say that I'm an awful person and that I'm bad financially. He won't let me get the moment to actually pay him back.
Right.
I'm getting up every day. I'm working hard. I keep telling him I'm going to pay him back. We literally had a conversation about that settlement check. And he just throws everything at me. He'll get angry and talk about the women and throw that in there out of nowhere. He'll be mad and be petty about me moving his stuff. Like one time I was cleaning up and I set his laptop on the ground and he walked in. Let's just keep in mind that he doesn't clean up after himself at all whatsoever. And he comes in and he's like, wow, you're putting my laptop on the ground. You know that's more money than you've ever spent in your whole entire life. So he always just reminds me of everything that he's done for me, throws it all in my face, and this basically makes it seem like I'm an awful person.
Mr. Steele?
Okay, let me chime in on that. I give you the full story. Okay, so we chilling, both of us off that day, and she decides that she wants to clean up the room. And so she sets my MacBook Pro on the ground, knowing that we have a dog at the house. So all I hear is a bunch of tapping and stuff, and it's my Yeezys and my phone pods is being thrown from this side of the room to that side of the room. So,
let's just be clear, it's about a good 8 inches because he doesn't clean up after himself.
Good 8 inches.
So,
she measured with a ruler. She measured.
I had to be petty. You're sitting there talking about your shoes when I tossed them out of the way, when I'm literally cleaning up and you come in and kick your shoes off. What sense does that make? You're not helping me. You just throw off all of your clothes.
I just feel like she don't have no respect for my values or valuable stuff or the stuff that I bought her.
If you have respect
if
for it,
you don't
put
put your stuff away, how much respect are you showing for your valuables?
I know.
Thank you.
She's supposed to respect him more than you do?
He has the location app on my phone so that he knows everywhere I am at all times, and like my freedom has just been completely taken away to.
Mr. Steele, is that accurate?
No, that's not the way she.
We can grab my phone right now. You can see it.
If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms, and for exclusive content, go to Apple TV. Well, you say he's controlling, that he wants things the way he wants them, that he's bugging you about getting married, that he wants to be in charge of things. Explain that to me.
He has the location app on my phone so that he knows everywhere I am at all times, and like my freedom has just been completely taken away to suppress his insecurities.
Mr. Steele, is that accurate?
No, that's not the way she's saying it.
We can grab my phone right now. You can see
the location thing was for safety purposes. When she got into her accident, I didn't know where she was. And
at home.
How was you at home when you got into an accident? When she got
it after the accident, and I've just been at home the whole entire time because I couldn't go nowhere. My arm was.
We just talked about her being on the dates with the other women, so apparently she was going places. In most of them places, I didn't know where she was during those times. So for safety purposes, I put the location.
Now you know that's a crock of stuff. You know how to believe that, right? You knowing exactly where she is when she has an accident isn't going to do you any good because you don't know she's had an accident until she calls you. And when she calls you, you'll know where she is because she's on the phone with you. So that's just silly. So you were tracking and trailing her because you were worried about the other women. Let's not waste our time. Give me some other controlling things that he's doing.
He says that if I want to be with him, that I have to get married right away and that we're going to have kids, and he's just enjoying this white picket fence dream, and I'm only 21. I've been out of high school for, 3 years? Why are you trying to force me? And you're 24, not even 25 yet.
Mr. Steele, your response to that?
I don't feel like I've ever put pressure on her to get engaged to me or get married to me or anything like that.
Do you have any problems with the manner in which she responds to your enthusiasm over a possible future with her?
I have no problem with her saying that she's not ready right now, but her just completely saying that she doesn't want to do it.
What does she say? Like, I'm never getting married?
Yeah, she says, I don't plan on getting married or having children, and both of those are a deal breaker for me. So
then why are you still with me?
The conversations don't go well because when I tell her that those are a deal breaker, she says, well, you know, it is a possibility that maybe we can have kids and maybe we can get married.
So she tells you what she wants, and then when she realizes it might get you out the door, she backs up off of it.
She backtracks.
Are you misleading him a little bit, Ms. Lawrence?
I don't feel like I'm misleading him, but if I say at least 8 to 10 times within one conversation that I'm uncomfortable talking about this, we can't even be solid in our own relationship, so why are we talking about marriage?
About the next step. Ooh, she sounds so rational. See, just not that you sound bad, but she's just firing on all cylinders over there. How much money do you really think you owe him?
I would say only $2,000.
$2,000? Mm-hmm. Now, why do you say it's $5,000?
I say it's $5,000 because that's the half that she promised to give back from her settlement.
Do you have any breakdown of the cost that appeared on your credit card?
Yes, I do.
Okay, could I see that?
You have receipts in correlation to me?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I got the receipts.
I'll let you see it after I'm done looking at it. $5,400 on 6 months of rent.
That doesn't even make sense because our rent is $900 a month, and if you're paying half a rent for 3 months, how is it $5,000?
That's why I was saying that it's half of that, because that equals up to 11.
You see how it's just folding?
I get you.
It's a domino effect on
That's
his
what
story.
I'm saying.
Yeah, well, let her see that just so we can. So she has an accurate assessment of what you're asking for.
Do you want me to comment on the $300 that she
Please
spoke about?
do.
Okay, so the reason that I didn't want that money was because I told her to finish her physical therapy, and when she got a job...
It's a piece of paper, no receipts.
And when she got a job, to keep that money in her pocket until her settlement came.
If that's the case, why are you sitting here badgering me about paying you? If you're telling me to keep it in my pocket.
When the settlement comes.
The settlement's not here, so what are you
I've never asked her for a
about?
piece of what she got while she was working the job.
First of all, you have great taste in women. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, her math skills are on point, you know. She's responsible, she's mature. You got good taste in men. He is loving, he adores you, and I like you both. Here's why you shouldn't get married now. If you are in a relationship with someone, it's not, this is where we're going, this is where we're going. You get there together. Now, I'm going to award him $2,000 because that's how much you stipulated to that you owe. And so I'm going to do that. But you'd be a fool to try to collect it. You want this. And you know what? The best way to get a woman is not to demand and control. It's to entice and seduce. You want a woman who comes running home to you, not one that is obligated to tell you where she is. It's like one who's like, baby, I'm on my way. Where are you? I can't wait to get to you. Oh, my. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do. You don't want to control. You want to engage. You with me?
I'm with you.
She likes that. $2,000 if you're a bright man that you will not collect, awarded to Mr. Steele. It is so ordered.
So how do you feel about how today went?
I think we'll be able to get past this. I really appreciate the judge for giving us some really good advice, and hopefully he learned how to seduce and get a woman to really want to marry him. So.
Do you think you will eventually be ready to marry this man?
I definitely do. I grew up in a two-parent home, so that's definitely the ideal situation for me. So.
Judge Lynn had a lot to say to you today. She liked you, but she dug into you a little bit. How do you feel about how things went down?
I feel like it was fair. That's probably something I needed to hear, and I'll implement that into our relationship moving forward.
Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
Follow us on Instagram for additional content from this case and preview our next all-new episode.